This is going to be game number 3 for AHQ Esports Club going up against Singapore Sentinels. And my name is Chris. I'm joined by Wolf once again as we come back to the casting table. And we have reached a critical point in this best of 5 matchup as AHQ Esports Club now currently stands at a 2-0 advantage.
Yeah, if they win.
Oh.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello. No sound still.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, there we go.
And as I was saying, or you guys didn't hear me, if they win the final game, if this is the final game and they win it, they just proceed to the semifinals and they'll face the winners of the Taipei Snipers against Mineski quarterfinal winners. So let's just hope that SGS can pull it to a game 4 and possibly a game 5. So we were kind of talking a little bit about what happened in game 1 and 2. And in game 1, you kind of pointed out that Hallelujah as well as Kailing were kind of the playmakers of the team. And I said that Ben W and Cryonics were somewhat of the pillars. And, you know, they're quite steady players. And I realized in game 1 and 2, kind of game 2, just sitting in the back lines, getting a bird's eye view of everything, that Hallelujah hasn't been able to have any lane matchups for him in which the laner and the jungler would set up a very nice kill lane. And playing Shyvana, playing Olaf doesn't give him that hard CC on the junglers that he's very used to. He's very used to Vi, very used to Elise, very used to Jarvan coming in. So if he doesn't really have that hard CC come in for game 1 and 2, and that didn't really work out for him, I really hope he gets back to his comfort jungler such as Vi or Jarvan, hopefully goes in for the knockup and can easily put in some good CC coming in.
Right, so this is going to be game number 3. Is this going to be the Is this going to be the game to secure AHQ Esports Club the victory over Singapore Sentinels here tonight? Or will Singapore Sentinels be able to avoid the fate of crushed dreams and broken hearts?
Crushed dreams and broken hearts indeed. I do hope we see a game 4 come in. So AHQ do lock in that Sivir pickup as their first pick. They really like that champion as an AD carry. I mean, Sivir has, like you said, that mobility come in on the hunt. And it seems that SGS may be going for that super hard initiate comp coming in for game 3.
I love it.
They have that Malphite pick. It's most likely going to be in the mid lane played by Chronics. We've seen that AP Malphite just kind of stomp on players with the unstoppable force. And let's just see how AHQ kind of responds to that initiation. I'm very worried with that Sivir pickup because the On the Hunt isn't just a good form of initiation tool, but it is also a very good disengaging ability as well.
Right, that's a very good point over there. And it does look like HQ Esports Club might go for something similar that they have went for in game number 1. I mean, if it's broken and it works for them, why change it? And I think
it's broken?
Right, it's
broken in a good way, right?
Yeah, broken in a good way. You have to understand, in League of Legends, the logic is that if it's broken, don't fix it. It's the other way around. It's reverse psychology. Okay. Yeah. So HQ Esports Club, they will lock in that Olaf and the Shyvana. And looking at Singapore Sentinels right now, they do have that Kazakhs pickup. And I'm loving what SGS is doing here. They are pulling out all the stops.
We have AHQ Westall playing in this game as well.
That's right. So it's not going to be Mr. Albis in the mid lane. It's going to be Westall.
Westall making his return to AHQ. Mr. Albis has been traditionally playing the mid lane role for AHQ. So now Westall, one of their original mid laners, I say, coming back into the fray as well. So they are going to run a very similar comp as game 1. They do not have the Dr. Mundo. And I really want to point out that first ban coming out from the Singapore Sentinels, it is trash. And Green Tea has been hitting exceptional death sentence all day long. I've not really seen him miss any crucial ones. I've seen him hit all the very important ones pinpoint. And when he goes in, he gets onto the back lines very easily and completely disrupts the team fight. So let's take a look at the matchup coming into this game. It's going to be AHQ Prides on Shyvana, AHQ Nas on Olaf in the jungle. Westall going to play that Kassadin in the mid lane. And finally, Ghana Devil and Green Tea on Sivir and Taric, respectively.
Right, I like what Hallelujah has chosen for himself, that Kazakhs in the jungle. I think that's effectively taking out a page of Dinter's jungling page, because we have seen TPA Dinter run Kazakhs in the jungle. So this time around, Hallelujah will be the one bringing in a surprise pick to kind of throw HQ off guard there.
And that's not only surprise pick coming in, the Insta-lock Malphite as the first pick. Most people expect it to go to Cryonics, but it seems like Ben W will be fancying that Malphite pick instead. So we may not see an insta-burst unstoppable force Malphite come in, but instead it's probably going to be an extremely tanky top laner building into Sunfire's cape as well as more health to just add to that passive coming in from Malphite. And once again, Hallelujah is on a jungle. I do like Kha'Zix in the jungle, but I don't like Kha'Zix on Hallelujah. I said earlier that I feel that Hallelujah plays best when he comes into the game with a hard CC, hard initiation type of jungler, such as Jarvan the Fourth, Aatrox, Vi, Elise, someone that has, well, Lee Sin not so much, but he is renowned for his Lee Sin. But I do like the junglers that he has been playing in the group stages, which were those few that I mentioned. And Cryonics back on Syndra, I don't really fancy that either. Chowie has been known to play Jinx quite a bit in the TLC, so TLC, by the way, is the Singapore Amateur League of Legends tournaments, and he has done actually quite an exceptional job on his Jinx play. And finally, Kailing on Leona. I like this pick better than the Taric pick because he seems quite lackluster on Taric. I wish he could default back to that Annie or Thresh, but both of them were banned. Fiddlesticks, you know, maybe not something he wants to pick at this point in time. Very squishy. Will definitely get insta-burst by the Kassadin pick come in. So what do you think about the two team comps from HQ and SGS?
Well, this time around for HQ Esports Club, they don't have the Thresh on their end, but they've gone for something similar in the Taric pickup. So this time around, taking that away from Kailing. But Kailing, he has Leona in his own pockets, and I think given the sense, Leona would bring slightly more to the table as compared to Taric, because for Taric, you do have that Dazzle for that form of hard crowd control in the stun. But for Kailing, you have three. You do have the Solar Flare, you have the Zenith Blade to lock someone down as well, and then you do have your Q proc to just bring someone in, lock someone down in place as well. So I think HQ Esports Club, what they are trying to do in this game is to continue on with the aggressive playstyle, because Ness once again has his hands on that Olaf, and Price has that Shyvana once again. And with Westall now playing Kassadin in the mid lane, I suppose what they want to do is to hit level 6 and then start roaming around the map to just take Singapore Sentinels out one by one. But this time around, Singapore Sentinels, they do have some new picks here, like we mentioned, the Leona pick, and then having that Malphite up in the top lane as well, and especially Hallelujah in the jungle, with that jungle Kha'Zix. I think that's something new that we have not seen him play, and hopefully he will be able to somewhat bring that out to the table as well. But the consideration for him is that who is his real target? For Kha'Zix to work effectively, you need to get a few kills, get the resets, and then jump around, leap around the map, as what we have seen most Kha'Zix do. But you know, you are going up against a Shyvana, you're going up against an Olaf, you're going up against a Kassadin, which is extremely difficult to catch, and then you are going up against Sivir and Taric as well. So the only effective target that you want to go for is that Sivir pickup. That Sivir kill. But like you mentioned earlier, the On The Hunt is so effective to do a mass disengage. So I think that's the key consideration for Hallelujah at this point of time.
What I really like about SGS's team comp, don't excuse me if I don't talk about AHQ's team comp, I love the team comp. It's the same one, it's very similar to the one that they ran in the first game, but mainly what I really like about SGS's team comp right here is the bottom lane duo. It's Jinx and Leona, that burst damage coming out from her 3 spell combo once she hits level 3 will allow that lockup to happen, will allow Chowie to proc as much of that sunlight passive as possible. And I feel that if Hallelujah were to gank a lane, the mid lane doesn't really have a lot of kill potential, neither does the top lane. The seismic shot won't be able to really get into the face at this point of time, but if Leona is able to lock either Sivir or even Taric up, you'll be... Yeah, and we do have the SGS cheers in the stadium again. And here it is. It's going to be AHQ now 2-0 and up against SGS. AHQ will be playing on the blue side and SGS will be playing on the purple side. So like I said, if Kailing on Leona is able to lock either Sivir or Taric up, Hallelujah can come in, get a few early kills, and hopefully get enough burst damage for the isolation to come in and just destroy some of the rest of the laners. But don't forget, Olaf and Shyvana are quite tanky throughout the entire game from early to late, so that's going to be a consideration that he has to take. So let's just kind of see how it pans out.
Right, the other thing about having a Leona as compared to a Taric is that for Garena level, he might be able to block out that initiate coming in from Taric with the spell shield, but this time around, like we were talking about earlier, Kailing has 3 form of hard crowd control abilities.
Does the Zenith Blade continue if you actually spell shield it? I think it does. It just doesn't...
Right, it just brings you closer, but you're not going to be able to lock him down.
To lock him down. So,
yeah.
Okay. So that's some form of initiation coming in. Not forgetting the solar flare, being able to hit it about what 900 to about 1000 range away is going to allow you for some AoE lockdown. If you're able to kind of catch out Cassidin in one of the solar flare unstoppable force combos, I'm pretty sure he's going to melt quite quickly.
And look at the item coming in from Kyling here. He has had that mana potion in his inventory as well. So what it tells me is that he wants to go in for very early crowd control and very early zoning potential coming in from him. If not, he would not have picked up that mana potion.
And earlier we were talking about how 3.14 kind of changed up the jungler and the support role, and we were saying that, or at least I was saying that, how tanky support such as Leona, Taric, mainly these two, get quite strong coming into the late game because they can build the items. And like I said earlier, Taric shatter scales off of armor, but Leona's eclipse scales off both magic resist and armor. It gives you 30% bonus magic resist on top of whatever extra you have. And look at Kyling just zoning out Prides as much as he can, preventing him from getting the early lane farm. And initiating the lane swap has allowed Ben W to kind of recall and get a few more potions, sustain in lane a little bit more, and hopefully farm under the turret.
Right, and hopefully this time Ben W might be able to just pull himself back into this lane, because for Malphite you do have some form of good wave clear coming in from the ground slam once the minions get in the turret range, and having that seismic shard as well will be able to kind of get you out of danger with the extra movement speed should AHQ come for a 3-man gank as well. So let's see how that will work out for him at this point of time. Ben W is still quite heavily zoned out by Green Tea at this point of time, even though he's not on his favorite Thresh. So let's see how this will pan out for him. There we go, the Dazzle and the exchange coming out from Gunner Devil as well. So still a whole lot of punch being packed down in this AHQ bottom lane.
You know, the Dazzle Shatter combo into Boomerang Blade and Ricochet will definitely deal a lot of damage. Yes, Malphite is a tanky top laner, does have a lot of armor, but we may see a tower dive come in.
Oh gosh, that is a dangerous position to be in, and Ned just comes in with that level 3, and that first blood will go down to him as Green Tea just hits level 2 as well, and I think that was the most disastrous position to be in as well. So like we mentioned earlier, HQ is not gonna try anything new here, so they are gonna continue doing the 3-man dives up into the bottom lane. So we do see Singapore Sentinels mirroring that as well as they try to take up this top lane turret. It does look like it's gonna be exchanged, but the only difference is that HQ does have that early first blood kill secured on their own end. So that's gonna make up for the goal difference between both teams.
And the game is going very differently as compared to the first two games. In the first two games, we saw AHQ didn't really take the early turret pressure, but instead they went constantly for the dives and getting as many kills, getting that 1,000, 2,000 goal lead in the early game, turning that into objectives very quickly, snowballing the objectives into their favor. And like I said, look at this. They get an early kill, take the tower, and then they transit to Dragon as soon as possible. And on the side of SGS, the way they respond is that we know we're from the farthest lane from the Dragon. So what we do is that we put even more pressure onto the turret, and hopefully we are able to deal as much damage, maybe picking up that inner turret later.
That was a 4-minute 38-second Dragon.
That was a 4-minute 38-second Dragon.
That is rather impressive coming in from HQ Esports Club. They knew, like you mentioned earlier, the rotations coming in from Singapore Sentinels, and I think they're just doing fine this game. And once again, with that early Dragon, they will just bring their goal lead to up to about a 700 goal lead at this point of time. But you know what, HQ Esports Club, they are so good at their early game. If you give them a substantial amount of early game goal advantage, then they'll just hang on to it and just bite onto it like hounds.
Yeah, they will bite onto it like hounds. They will just tear your meat off and just continue to take objectives. And I really like to kind of point out something, because I feel that Hallelujah on Kha'Zix, being the jungler that he is, he wants to go in aggressive, get as many kills as possible, but the lane swap kind of didn't really allow him to pull off any sort of initiation. Having Leona and Jinx push up in lane will not allow him to go in for a turret dive. Kha'Zix himself, oh, Chowie taken down extremely low here, and
right.
this doesn't bode well at all for SGS. So like I said, having the bot lane push up so far ahead, and you know, Hallelujah just wouldn't want to go in for any sort of turret dive. He hasn't gotten any kills. He has been farming up the jungle quite a bit, so hopefully they can make some good rotations. Kyling makes the play, Cryonics makes the play, get a nice stun combo, or maybe even a good unstoppable force, and they maybe will go with Kyling on the side now.
Right, it doesn't look like Kyling will be spotted out by Westor, and he will back off. So the good consolation coming in from Singapore Sentinels is that Cryonics is holding his ground pretty well against Westor here. He is now sitting at a good 18 CS over Westor, and let's hope that he will be able to translate that into some advantages. But Westor at this point of time, he has not reached level 6 yet, so he does not have that Void Walk. And Green now playing with fire there. There we go, Hallelujah will spot him down there, but he will just leap out of the way, away from the Dazzle. And right now, between Choi and Garena Devil, is just 1-to-1, man-to-man down in his bottom lane.
Yeah, you were speaking about the CS difference in the mid lane, but look at the CS difference in the bottom lane. Garena Devil has almost a 20 CS lead ahead of Chowie, and what happened in the top lane as well as that Price has been freezing out the lane, and since it's pushed onto his turret, he's able to also get that substantial CS lead. So it's just kind of bleeding a little bit of gold in terms of objectives as well as CS. But I'd really like to point out the mid lane difference coming in. We saw Mr. Albis kind of crush Cryonics in the mid lane. I mean, excuse me for a lack of a better word, but in game 1, Cryonics really got hit very hard by Mr. Albis. But this time, Westor is the one playing Cassidy. So what's the oh, we do have the undertow coming out from Nas.
Right, and Ness will go in with the undertow, but it's not going to land on Kyling this time around. And once again, Ness, this time he's getting exhausted. Hallelujah, is he going to find the pick that he needs? But he has taken way too much damage that he has decided to leap out of the way. And there was a somewhat of an awkward engage coming down from both SGS and HQ down at the bottom lane. But good call on the exhaust. That will be able to stop Ness down in the meanwhile.
Yeah, that will be able to stop Ness. And look at Price just doing that dirty farming. So, you know, he says, Ben W, you still have your outer turret up. I can just kind of push it to your turret and just farm behind it. So
right, I always wonder why they call it dirty farming. You're just walking behind him to do some farm. It doesn't look very messy, and
it's not about it being messy. It's just being a dirty tactic, Chris.
Oh, a dirty tactic. Okay, fine, fair enough. But it's not really dirty. I'm just like going behind the turret to farm behind you, and nothing wrong with that. And
most of the things that are behind us is usually dirty. I won't elaborate anymore. So let's continue the game.
I see what you did there.
AHQ still currently holds that gold lead, about 1.4 or 1400 gold, I would say. That 1 kill advantage. Turrets are even. They did take the dragon. The dragon will be up again in another 1 minute 45 seconds. And Chowie is now the one freezing the lane. Hopefully he'll be able to get this minion wave catch up. We do have Garena Devil recalling. We're going to most likely pick up a BF sword. I don't know whether he has enough gold for it though. And you know, Sivir, okay, not the BF sword, going for the early game Brutalizer instead. So that's going to give him the cooldown reduction as well as the armor penetration coming in. So it's going to allow the Boomerang Blades to chunk for even more and just assert the early game dominance. And like you said, AHQ extremely good in the early game.
Right, and between Singapore Sentinels and AHQ Esports Club, what Singapore Sentinels are looking to do is to kind of just buy time for themselves, for Choi and the rest of the members to get a substantial amount of, you know, damage items and threshold items as well before they start going in for the team fights. And I agree with their decision here because they have not found the early game aggression that they needed to kind of secure them against HQ Esports Club. Ooh. And there you go, Hallelujah has to pop the ultimate to move away from that one, and Cryonics will be here to back him up as well, but they will take away Hallelujah's ultimate in the process, so he's not going to find the pick that they needed. So like I was talking about earlier, Singapore Sentinels, they just pretty much need to calm themselves down, make sure that they get a few good items to hit, and there we go, Choi with the zap steal onto the white cam there.
Yeah, that sneaky ward over into the white cam allows him to just say, you know, Prides, this is my jungle, it's my white, so
it's
stay
my
away.
white.
But look at the amount of damage he's already taken from just a simple auto attack combo. Either that, you know, he wasn't really able to sustain up, doesn't have that vampiric scepter just yet. And, you know, Prides is just going to be very happy. He does have the vision to most of the choke points. He's able to spot out any sort of counter aggression come in, and he's just very willing to push up heavily in that lane.
Oh, and we do see Hallelujah taking a whole lot of damage of this one. It looks like HQ might want to just collapse onto them at this point of time, but Naze is just doing the right thing, using the undertow to zone Singapore Sentinels out in the way as they make work on this top lane turret. They will take that down for themselves. once again propelling their goal lead to a good close to 2,000 at this point of time. And Cryonics is now actually zoning out Westlaw. And there we go, Cryonics with the slow onto him as well, but Westlaw still having that crystalline flask to slowly regen himself back up.
Look at the items that Hallelujah has picked up. 3 long swords coming in for himself, so he's really stacking up on those long swords. Probably gonna, you know, is it a brutalizer into a Vamp Scepter?
Right, the triple longsword, we might see the Spirit of Elder Lizard as well.
Oh, yeah, that's most likely the case. You're right.
Right, and there we go. Prides will now jump onto Hallelujah then.
Look at the
damage, yeah, with the boomerang blade there. And the Chompers as well will zone Pride slightly off his track there, but HQ Esports Club not too concerned at this point of time. It looks like HQ might want to jump onto SGS at this point of time, but if SGS finds the right position to go in, they might be able to pincer HQ Esports Club.
They don't really have vision around the dragon though, and SGS has been dancing around that ward, and Westlaw comes in.
And there we go, Price jumping in with the Dragon's Descent, just melting Choi right off the bat, and this looks like Price will continue to chase, and Hallelujah in the meantime will pick up the kill onto Green Tea, but at what cost? And there we go, Hallelujah with the double kill, and he will get the reset to leap off the way.
Yeah, that's a 2-for-3 exchange, and that ward that really allowed AHQ to get in the pivotal position to come in. They instantly take down Chowie, but too bad they weren't really able to get away from the claws of Hallelujah. But it seems that they should be able to take down this middle outer turret, and that's going to be the last outer turret that's going to go down for SGS. They're going to lose all their outer turrets, and it's just going to be dead.
Right, it does look like Cryonics will be able to, yeah, he'll be able to buy some time for Singapore Sentinels to come back into this lane to save him off. But I think the effects of the rotations are starting to show, because Green Tea at this one time he's level 6, but because of the fact that Kyling has been roaming around quite a fair bit, it's only level 5, so he doesn't have the solar flare to kind of save his teammates there, and that resulted in a 2-for-2 exchange.
Yeah, we here have a replay coming, so you do see that ward that they're dancing over, and watch Chowie get melted instantly. Westlaw coming, put in the burst, and then Price will use the Dragon's Descent, and finally Naz with Olaf going in with the Undertow as well as the Mighty Swing. Price able to pick up that kill easily. Green Tea taken out very low. He is able to just kind of walk out from that fight. Hallelujah will try to go in for the cleanup. Kylie is on the side, gets ignited. He will go down as well to that one. Naz is taken out extremely low, takes a few hits to the turret. Then W will fall, and Hallelujah will come in, get the reset, jump away, and save the turret.
In the meanwhile, Singapore Sentinels have taken out the Dragon for themselves, so kind of closing the goal gap for themselves. And we saw that in game number 1. Because for them, the Dragon was the utmost objective for them to grab, to kind of stop the bleeding. And because of that, they have done so, but will they actually collapse onto HQ Esports Club? And Ben W going to call out with the Dazzle right here, but he's quite taking on his own aspect, so it does look like he will not go down anytime soon. And there we go, on the hunt, onto Choi there. Does look like he will go down the process. Garena Devil will be the one to pick that up. And Pride's now soaking up some damage for the side of HQ Esports Club, so that they will be able to have the space to move around, but they did pick up Choi in the process.
That was a really opportune time to engage. Garena Devil popped that on the hunt, and Naz was able to land one Undertow, and that was the death of Chowie. Not only that, Ben W didn't have his unstoppable force up at the time, so they couldn't pull off a counter initiation. And Kyling is still level 5, so not having that solar flare to kind of stop the aggression really allowed HQ to win that one. If Ben W had his unstoppable force up, and if Kyling was level 6, that fight could have turned around very differently.
Alright, so we did see HQ back up from the mid lane because the bottom side turret is actually taking a whole lot of damage, and once again, the mid lane for HQ Esports Club has gone for the Magi's Soul Stealer.
Yeah, but this time Westlaw is being a little bit more ballsy. We saw the Magi's being picked up by Mr. Albis in game 1 only after he completed his Rod of Ages. But this time he's like, hey, Mr. Albis, check this out.
I can do it better.
I can do it better.
More style.
More style.
Right, but he has to remember he is sitting on a CS deficit against Cryonics at this point of time, and he has not picked up any kill as well. So I wonder whether that Major Soul Stealer will pay its dividends at this point of time. But I think given the sense that if HQ just play their game smoothly and just play this in their favor, they will have that Major Soul Stealer pay off for them.
Yeah, they will need Westlaw to pick up a few stacks onto the Magi's before that becomes a cost-effective item. So Kyling is still level 5 at this point in time, whereas Green Tea is level 7. He really needs to hit that level 6 soon just to get the additional solar flare come in for the team fight. He should be able to hit level 5 at this point.
There we go.
Yes, he does. He misses the Zenith Blade though, so Price is able to just use Burnout and walk away. They do want to put pressure on the turret because they do see Green Tea as well as Garena Devil off to the side lane trying to push as much as possible. The Scattered are weak and Void Spikes will miss out on Pride, so they do back away from the aggression in the mid lane.
That's right, so a little bit of a wasted opportunity for Singapore Sentinels there. They were unable to find the firepower that they need to just take out the mid lane turret. So in that sense, HQ was able to respond to that really quickly, and BenW now taking some happy poke damage from HQ at this point of time. Does look like HQ are just waiting for the right chance to go in with the engage, but this time around, Kailing does have the solar flare. So will that change the engage in that perspective?
All the ultimates are up on the side of AHQ. Some of the spells are also ready and off cooldown. Chowie does not have his flash though, so that's going to put him in a very dangerous spot. He hasn't had the best of positioning in the team fights. We saw him already get caught out twice, so that's going to be very scary. He does have that Bloodthirster, so if he's able to kind of stack it up through and get the additional 30 AD as well as Lifesteal come in, we should be able to see him deal out some damage, but HQ's rotation has been pretty pinpoint. They do take the turret, it has almost gone down, and Kailing and Hallelujah just get melted in that fight.
Right, it does look like that. It's going to be a quick shutdown coming in from HQ that they will take out very quickly, and Green will secure that kill onto BenW as well. And
did BenW try to unstoppable force over the wall and just fail?
I guess that might have been what happened as Westall now putting on some good damage, and Green Tea once again will take up another kill onto Choi at this point of time and securing 2 kills for himself in that one exchange. That is one bloodthirsty support.
Yeah, but the key point there was that Chowie was slightly out. Whoa, Green Tea taken out extremely low from the Unleashed Power. He will not go down to the Ignite.
Going twice and gone. Green Tea will not go down in that exchange, and the Ignite was not able to take him down as well. So, you know, HQ coming up with the best possible result that they won in that exchange. 9-2 in terms of kills now, and having that 4th turret for themselves, propelling their goal lead to a good 7.3 goal advantage.
You know the warding and vision control on side there? We do have that replay. You do see the ward coming in, and it spots out Kailing as well as Hallelujah, and they just get instantly melted. So no, he used Unstoppable Force to go over the wall and try to knock them up earlier. The Super Mega Death Rocket was unable to kill BenW, will just fall in this case. And of course, Chowie we saw got caught out at his own turret, and then he just goes down as well. So it's going to be a 4-4-0 exchange in favor of HQ. They do pick up the inner bot lane turret as well, so there's going to be 4 turrets in their favor. They do have about a 6,000 gold lead.
That's right, and at this point of time, Hallelujah has finally completed his Spirit of the Elder Lizard as well, but will that be the item to kind of change the tide for Singapore Sentinels at this point of time? You know, you have to remember, Singapore Sentinels, they do have that team fight potential much better than HQ Esports Club, but because of the fact that HQ was able to...
Ragnarok, Kailing taken down extremely low, he will just get melted. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris.
No problem, but that was just extremely quickly. I just blinked my eye and Singapore Sentinels just went down the process, and I guess that's the dangerous part that we're talking about. HQ just, you know, manipulated the early game so much more effectively against Singapore Sentinels, and they do have all these items advantage at this point of time. HQ Esports Club with the relentless push onto Singapore Sentinels base there, they will take out one more outer turret, so the inner turret for themselves. So that's 5-1 in terms of turret advantage for HQ Esports Club.
And once again, AHQ find themselves in a commanding goal lead 20 minutes into the game. They will try to pick up this dragon here, and it should extend their 7,000 goal lead to about 8,000.
And one boomerang blade coming in from Garena Devil just took Choi solo. There we go, on the hunt there, and HS will converge onto HQ Esports Club there. Garena Devil will pick up the kill onto Kailing there. Pride's now running for his life. Cryonics being caught in an extremely awkward position. Will Westdoor actually finish off the kill? And there we go. That's the finishing touches for HQ Westdoor there. And once again, HQ Esports Club coming on top of that one. Garena Devil will pick up one more kill onto Choi there. And Hallelujah is forced to run for his life there. So in terms, that was a 3-for-1 exchange in the favor of HQ Esports Club as we go into the replay.
We do see this replay. We do see BenW and Kailing get caught out. It seems that SGS haven't been able to group up together, and they've always been split 2-2. And this just allows AHQ to just kind of focus on the squishier target, take them down as soon as possible, and just really win out the team fights.
Right, that was a very clean team fight for them as well, as we do see the finishing touches put on by Westall there, and that was one more kill for Gun Devil, and in the meantime, HQ Esports Club was able to take out the Dragon as well, so they are sitting at a 10,000 goal advantage over Singapore Sentinels.
Yes, we've been talking about the goal lead from HQ, but I just want to point out, Garena Devils 5-0 and 8. He has 13 kills and assists to his name out of the 14 AHQ kills. He's 9,000 gold ahead, about 3,000 more gold than what Chowie has. And Hallelujah here getting caught out a little bit, just fancying his chances with prize. But what SGS needs to do now is group up, use their press R comp, get a few kills, and walk away without dying. If they can do that, rinse and repeat maybe 3 more times, and hopefully AHQ doesn't really get any more objectives from that, you know, they still have a fighting chance. They need to keep their head cool. They don't want to lose this game, because if they lose this game, they will be knocked out of the GPL quarterfinals, and
the single elimination stage, man, that's the danger when you have this kind of tournament format. There we go, Kailing now getting caught way out of position. He will melt down to Naze in the process, but Naze has to pop that Ragnarok. But in a sense, they did take out the most dangerous player in Singapore Sentinels with the crowd control capabilities, and they will be able to take out the final in the turret that stands in their way.
You know, Chris, I honestly don't know how dangerous Kailing is at this point of time. He's level 7, only has that boots of mobility, doesn't give him any sort of stats as well, and of course that Ruby Sidestone only gives him health. He's not very tanky at all.
Right, but he does have that crowd control, and there we go. It's going to be the Unstoppable Force chained with the Solar Flare there, but it's not going to be enough damage to take out anyone in the process. Binky now picks up one more kill against Kailing, and Ben W will go down as well. Double kill for Westar there. That is a 3-for-0 exchange. Fights did not even go down at all, and they will pick out the take out the mid inhibitor as well.
Yeah, they do take out the mid inhibitor, and you know what? SGS kind of fell prey to my own plan. I said they need to stick together, use the press R comp, which they did, but no kills happened from that one at all. Magi Soul Sealer with 13 stacks on Westlaw. Right, that's definitely a cost-efficient item.
Cost-efficient item indeed. That is paying dividends for them so well at this point of time. Singapore Sentinels, they are looking at a very grim situation, and I'm not too sure what they can do to kind of come back from this one.
Well, they really, if AHQ kind of split their resources up and just, you know, kind of stand on the sidelines and allow SGS to kind of make the picks, then they can slowly claw it back. But I don't see AHQ kind of separating from each other at this point of time. They've been winning straight up 5-on-5 team fights, and they've been catching SGS out of position, like, you know, three members away, 2 members on the side, and just, you know, beating them in the numbers game in itself. And I honestly feel that it was on the onus of SGS to kind of stick together, go with the initiate. They always tried to pull off the flanking maneuver, and I think more than twice it's failed on them.
Right, it's not exactly working out for them at this time, but you just have to remember it's a 4-minute respawn on the inhibitor. If they are able to kind of just hold their ground until that period of time, they might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, but in this time where they try to hold their ground, HQ are just going to take a 24-minute Baron without any sort of contest at all.
Right, it doesn't look like it's not going to be any kind of contention, and it's not like Choi is playing a champion like Ezreal where he can at least have a slimmer of hope to try to snipe that off from himself.
I don't know, the Super Mega Death Rocket does do AoE damage on impact. Not a lot though, but still.
Chance of hope, man, chance of hope.
Well, he didn't use the Super Mega Death Rocket. AHQ picks up the Baron, and they extend their gold lead to 14,000 gold 25 minutes into the game. 7 turrets in the lead, and they have already taken down 1 inhibitor. They set their eyes on the top lane inhibitor with the Baron buff, and any sort of poke coming out from Hallelujah as well as Cryonic is just going to be easily regenerated from that Baron buff, as well as Green Tea's Inspire in itself. It's not Inspire, sorry, it's the G's.
Imbue.
Yeah, the Imbue. I knew it started with an I, Chris. Thank you.
And there we go, and the amount of burst damage.
Oh my goodness.
A complete meltdown for Singapore Sentinels right there, and everyone just gets chunked forwards and backwards.
You know what, Chris? This is it.
Right, that's gonna be. I think
this is probably gonna be the game here.
Yeah, Singapore Sentinels. Singapore Sentinels just got melted down all so quickly, and look at Price, he's not too concerned about the Nexus turret just pounding onto him. He's happy to take some damage for his team there to close out the game. And there we go.
Level 6-0 and 15. 21 kills and assists out of the 22 total kills. It seems that Game 3 is over, folks.
Right, so that is going to be it. AHQ Esports Club will beat out the Singapore Sentinels to proceed on to the semi-final stages in this best of 5 series.
Yes, that's right. They do beat SGS 3-0. So on Friday, in the winner of the Mineski up against Azubu Taipei Snipers match, they will face AHQ Esports Club in the semi-final slot as well. And of course, the upper bracket has already been completed. Azubu Taipei Assassins will be meeting the Saigon Jokers in the first semi-final match as well. But we do have one more quarter-final match to go, and that will be on Friday. But before we talk about that, HQ SGS, that was just a commanding performance by HQ. They knew what were the flavor of the month champions. They picked up in the first game, Siva, Olaf, and Mundo. We were kind of talking about it earlier, right before all these games started, and I was like, HQ, you know what you're doing.
Right, and it was a little surprising as well coming in for this game, because given the sense that I thought this patch would pretty much favor Singapore Sentinels in the most part of it, but it does look like HQ, they have done a lot of practice, done a lot of research, just adapted to the new strategies and the new meta extremely well, and they were able to pull out this very impressive victory over Singapore Sentinels here tonight.